This is my car, Tata Tiago Energy AMT, and this is my notebook where I have jotted down 12 key points from my ownership experience. But before going ahead, this is the 1 month of ownership experience, and my car has done only 2500 kilometers on the auto. Chalo, let's get going. Alright, point number 1, smooth AMT gearbox. If you have never driven an AMT before, then you should know that it takes some time to get used to. But once you do, it's very comfortable, especially in traffic. No clutch and no use of left leg. Brilliant. The gear shifts are visible. Yes, but for daily commuting and city drives, it just works. In slow moving traffic, it's better than a manual because you don't have to keep shifting gears. And for the performance oriented Janta, I'm sorry to report that this is not a performance oriented gearbox. And also, sometimes it acts weird during overtakes. I'll come to that in another video. But for now, overall, it's good enough for calm and cool headed driving. The next feature that I like is creep function and hill hold assist. The creep function is surprisingly helpful. In bumper to bumper traffic, just releasing the brake makes the car move ahead slowly. No need to touch the accelerator. It is a big plus during parking and reversing. On slopes, on the other hand, this car has hill hold assist function, which holds the car for a few seconds when you are in incline, and it doesn't allow the car to roll back. Big help when you are driving on inclines. It may seem small, but it really adds to confidence, and especially for new driver, it's a big plus. Number 3, the solid build quality. Tata's build quality has a reputation, and it shows here. The doors are heavy and there is no rattling, and you can feel the heft when trucks pass you on the highway. The car stays planted, and mentally that matters. For a hatchback in this price range, it feels more premium in terms of safety and sturdiness. Next up, the fuel economy. With AC on almost all the time and a good mix of city and highway driving, I have been getting around 16 kmpl on average. On long stretches, sometimes it goes up to 18, even I have seen 20 in certain stretch. For now, I am satisfied. But one thing you should keep in mind that if you are not maintaining a steady pace, maybe you are driving more than 90 kilometers per hour, then your mileage drops way too low. So for the normal 80 to 90 kmph on the highway, it can easily give you more than 17 kmpl. 20 is the number that I want to hit, but as of now, I'm happy with 16. Next up, the highway comfort. On the highway, I found that 80 to 90 is the sweet spot for this car. At this speed, the car stays calm and the gear shift doesn't feel too jerky. But once you cross 100, you can feel that engine is working harder. It is capable of going beyond 120, but it feels happiest cruising at around 90 to 95. Occasional 120 is doable. Energy has 177 mm of ground clearance. This is one of the most underrated features. Whether it was a village road, speed bumps or broken patches, the Energy never scraped, not even once. And I'm pretty confident that in my entire ownership, I would probably scrape my car's underbelly. It definitely gives you the freedom to explore more without worrying about your underbody. For a small car, the suspension tuning is really well. It doesn't feel bouncy and it absorbs pothole like anything. On smooth roads, it glides. On rough patches, it stays firm but manageable. Overall, I would say it's a well-balanced ride quality for daily to occasional highway runs. The next thing that I like is Harman sound system. The speakers in this car are genuinely good. For this price, I wasn't expecting too much, but the Harman system is clear, loud, and handles the nitty-gritty of sounds really well. Whether it's music, podcast, or navigation audio, everything sounds clean. So a big thumbs up from my side. The next up is passenger comfort. One thing I genuinely appreciate during our long road trip is that Tata Tiago Energy's cabin is full of comfort. I had driven with 5 adults on board and surprisingly the space held up pretty well. Also, space depends on your body frame as well. If you are not that healthy, then 3 people at the back wouldn't be a problem. The rear seat has decent enough legroom and there is no feeling of getting cramped. So in terms of passenger comfort, this is 5 on 5 from my side. Now in this section, this video turns little bit red. Red in the sense that few things that I don't like so far. The first up is the minor fit and finish issue. One small thing I noticed over time, some plastic panels don't line up perfectly. Example, if you look at here, this front grille, so there is a panel gap, which is understandable, which is fine. But if you put a finger here, right, and if you drag it along the line of this grille, you will see that as I get closer to the other side, my finger is actually coming out. That means the gap that you see over here, it's bigger, and as you move down and go to the other side towards the right, this gap reduces. So this is a panel gap issue. You can see clearly here, right? This gap is bigger, this side the gap is bigger, but that side the gap is smaller. And another thing that I have observed, that I have come to know recently. So a couple of weeks back, I had a minor accident where my front door got little dented. But I thought, since it's a new car, I thought of getting the entire door replaced. So I placed an order and I got the new door, and this is the new door that you are looking at this moment. But you can see the clear difference, right? This side of the door panel is not painted black. When the installation was over, what I have discovered is that this black portion that you see is not a paint. It's a filament, or rather it's a sticker that they have put. So also if you look at here, this portion, it is not painted, it's a sticker. So if I just try to pull this sticker out, it will eventually come off. It's very easy. But this is something that was quite shocking to me, because I'm new to car thing, so I do not know whether other manufacturers they do the same thing. But before buying, I thought all of these black inserts that you see, all of those are painted, but in theory they are not. I don't know whether you can call it a finish issue or no, but this is what it is. The another thing I do not like so far is the absence of cruise control. The older version of Tata Tiago Energy had cruise control. Now I do not recommend using cruise control because it is the perfect recipe for getting sleepy, but at the same time I do feel that when you are on the longest stretch of expressways, you should be able to give a break to your right leg, right? Unfortunately, the current version of the Energy doesn't get cruise control, and for me it's kinda issue, even though it's not a major one. But I would say if you drive on expressways most of the time, sometimes having a cruise control is like taking a break while you are working so hard. And that being said, let's come to the conclusion. So after 2500 kilometers, the Tata Tiago Energy AMT feels like a dependable partner. Not too flashy, not trying to impress anyone, but it gets the job done and does it with quite the confidence. So if you are thinking of getting the Tata Tiago Energy AMT, then I think you won't be disappointed, provided you keep your expectations in check. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys like this one. For more vlogs and travel stories on Tata Tiago, please subscribe to this channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.
बाकी ऑल्टोजर বেশিরভাগ লোক বেস ভেরিয়েন্টই কিনে কি করবে